Alright, can everybody hear me? You guys hear me okay? Anybody? Can you guys hear me? Check. Alright, so this is the first stream with my new build here. Everything on my end just looks buttery smooth, which is amazing. The mic is clipping a bit. Is it? Let me see here. I always pull up the stream here. It's loud. Okay. Let me see. Because I do have, oh yeah, I see that there. Hang on. Filters. Let me drop my gain. Here, is this better? Is this not destroying your eardrums? Is this a lot better here? I always have to push some gain on this one here. You want it a tad higher or lower? What are you doing here? I just set up, so we used to use Streamlabs or OBS instead of Streamlabs OBS, but now we're using Streamlabs OBS, which is a fancier version of OBS that has more features. So actually, one thing I forgot to add on, and I got a bunch of printers starting here, so forgive me as I always just keep an eye on them when they're starting just to make sure our heights are good, which they are. So I don't need to worry about these. Those are going. Alright. Hands-free printing, man. A little more gain. Okay. I mean, I'm seeing my... Yeah, let me see here. Because this is good. Like I said, I just set this all up. So I basically had to reset all my scenes. And we got some new things here on the channel. I'm going to go ahead and... I forgot to add the jar in. The jar. You guys have the jar here. We're going to put a beer mug here. How's that? So basically, we're going to be like the fancy streamers when there's donations. So I'll do a test donation here. It'll pop up. And then you get the little thing there. And then boom, you put money in the jar. So that's cool. So, and I got little gifts. So, yeah, if you become a subscriber here, I got a little GIF of a printer going. And then if you do a super chat, there you go. It's just a Asian guy. I love that GIF. So, and then you can see there, so subscribers and donations, they go into our tip jar here, which goes towards my beer money, I guess. I don't know where I'm going to put the tip jar. Let's put the tip jar there. We'll put it there for now. How's that? Alright. I hate when you get like a part of your print that doesn't stick to the bed and you're like, oh, I gotta take that off. Because otherwise it's gonna kill the rest of the print. So, when we don't want that happening. So, yeah, we got the AlphaWise U20 going today. Let me get my camera angled a little better here. It's actually supposed to be a better shot, so you guys can see in the background my prints above me. So yeah, that's another printer in the box on the shelf. That's a CRX that we bought. So I don't know if we're gonna do an unboxing for that or not, but that's one that we purchased with our own hard-earned money. So I don't know if I'm going to give Creality basically free advertising. I do have to load up... nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I thought I copied the jar here. Apparently I didn't. Let's see. There we go. Okay. We got fancy little transitions here. It's very fancy, guys. We're stepping our game up here, except my overhead camera takes a second to load. But the stream is smooth as butter now, which is the important part. Because my last processor, although the 4790K is an amazing chip still, in terms of, you know, what most people do, it was showing its age here. So, yeah, that's why I upgraded. So, there's my printer yelling at me. Did we find some PLA in those? So just give me a moment here while I load up more filament into our machine. I think this is all ABS. This looks like all ABS. This can get stacked up in the closet. I said this can get stacked up in the closet with all the other stuff. But I need PLA, and we should have PLA left. Is this case PLA? Yes, it is. Okay. Sorry, we have, even though we are closed in terms of being off. This is my day off. We gave our guys the option to take the day off and get, half pay because they're hourly, or still get the half pay and come in and just get some extra money for the holidays. So they both decided to come in, so that's why they're here. But as a small business owner, you don't really get time off. It's just you get to do different stuff. So I need to make sure these printers are running. Because if they're not running when we get back, we have nothing to put our products in. So bear with me. This is the only one that I know of. Everything else looks good filament-wise. And we are printing with Coex LLC PLA, if anybody cares to know. To give you guys an idea, I've gone through about 100 rolls of this stuff in about a little over 2 months, I want to say. Maybe even less than that. And the stuff just prints amazingly. And that's what we use now for all of our prints that we do. We use their ABS and their PLA. Is the title, I didn't even check online. I had preset all the title of the stream and stuff, but I don't know if Streamlabs overrides all that. So if this doesn't say AlphaWise U20 with the description in it, then I need to go and fix that. Because I made a thumbnail and everything last night for it. But I ran out of filament. Ah, there's the purge. Alright. And when you guys are resuming your print, you just pull a little zit away. And there we go. It says it? Okay. Yeah, so when I did the live stream from my laptop when I was building my desktop, it overrode my preferences, essentially. And created issues for us here. Oh, there we go. Thanks for the sub. I like this because I can see when people sub and I can be like, hey, thank you for the sub. Which is great. Which is really fancy here. I'm just checking to see how the stream looks. Alright, cool. Yeah, everything's good. I have to say the computer upgrade was worth it because this is running so much better now. There's no chopping. My processor usage is at 9% instead of close to 40 and 50. And I haven't even added all my sources yet, but this was way lower than it was. So all the trouble to upgrade was worth it, in my opinion. It will not show if you unsub, Matt. Why would you want to do that? You're mad. You're absolutely mad. So we've got our small camera here, which we can use to show what's going on here. And then we got our main view back here. So the small camera is only 1080 30 FPS, so you'll have to bear with us. It's not going to be as buttery smooth as this view. We had a couple of people complain about the video quality on the channel and the stream and everything. But we pulled our customer group, the people that we actually care about, and they're like, dude, your stuff's fine. So we didn't waste our money on hardware we don't need, especially with the house happening. We need to not spend as much money as we can right now. So, but just to give you guys a preface here, as you guys know, we work with GearBest in terms of doing printer reviews so we can get you guys machine reviews without us having to shell out money, because we've got enough printers as it is already. Now, they keep sending us printer reviews because people buy printers through our affiliate links, so you can visit the printerlinks.th3dstudio.com if you want to check out the affiliate links we have down there, and there's also a link for this printer below. Obviously, it's still in the box. I have not tested it, so I can't recommend it yet. So, let's get this party started here. They really taped the shit out of this thing. All right. Yeah, this is 1080/60. It's why I look so fat. You can see all my flaws. Great. Figure out, leave that there. All right. Give me 1 second here. All right. So I'm gonna move my small camera out of the way so I don't kill it. When am I moving into the new space? Not soon enough. We have to close on it first. There's always that catch, you know, you got to close on the house before you can move in. I think the current owner would be a little weirded out if we just showed up with all of our stuff. The U20, I think it's 300 by 300 by 4, and it's right around the same size as the CR10. 300 by something. All right. So we have. I love the Chinese stuff on here. It says, mind the high temperature on the bed. So let me switch over to a small cam here. And it says, mind the high temperature. Here's our view here. The U10 for $3.99 is not bad at all. I like our U10. Our U10 has literally garbage on it right now, but it printed a giant Christmas tree. All right, I'm going to set this back down so I can actually unbox here. Hey, you found it. Thank you, sir. All right. Now, my thing is, I've been keeping an eye on, like the U20 group, which is what GearBest actually runs, or people from GearBest. I guess Alfawise is GearBest's house brand, which is interesting because they make everything from drones to, you know, Wi-Fi lights to printers. So obviously GearBest has a supply chain. All right, we got some just standard fare stuff. Oh, a black USB cable, no blue stuff. Wow. Stepping it up. We got a bag full of, we got a T-bracket with our ZN stop, some hex wrenches, a card reader with an SD card, some yellow PLA, a weird-looking spool holder, which I've seen the spool holder before. ZinkyBot uses the same one, so it's probably just a generic Chinese spool holder. All right, so we got the box, and I see a touch screen, which I hate. If you guys know me, I hate touch screens. They're just terrible. And what I want to see is what board is in here, because it is a 32-bit board, but it's closed source. So honestly, this printer might get gutted, and I'll put standard hardware in it. And the reason is, if you don't have open source firmware, then you're kind of limited on what you can do with the machine. But we'll see how bad it is, which this is one of the reasons I wanted to get this one and to check it out. Physically, though, it seems decent so far. We'll see how well everything aligns up. Scan the SD card for viruses. Yeah, I definitely will. Actually, I'm probably not even going to put it in my computer, to be honest. I don't trust him. All right, so one of the there's like a little shipping cover, I guess, that goes over it. It's interesting. So they actually have a printed shipping cover that, like, I guess kept this from getting damaged. Weird. Unless it's part of the assembly process and that was like their template for guiding the bearing on there. Alright, I think we have everything out of here. This box does not get thrown out, because I'll probably end up shipping it out to somewhere. So, or we'll put it in storage, one of the two. So just toss it outside if you don't mind. Yeah, they cut these out. They do packaging well. China knows how to do packaging. Alright. Yeah, so I just want to see what this machine is made out of. Let's see what we got. So everything's out of the box. We've got our board here, or our board box, brain box, whatever you want to call it. Our control box. Let's see here. What do we got in terms of bed? We got some hefty gauge wire here. Let's see here. Let's start going over the mechanicals before we start building it here. So, mechanically speaking, we've got eccentrics, which is good. So we got 3 on the right side and none on the left, which is fine. That's normal. Your standard fare of springs here. We've got, you know, your typical feet that are bolted to the extrusion. Y motor mount, nothing crazy. It is a 20-tooth pulley, so it's going to be 80 steps per millimeter with a 1/16 stepper, just like the Crealities. Got the same kind of Y-axis belt tensioner slash guide as other machines. And let's see, we got our spool holder, our filament, our Chinese SD reader with an SD card thrown in there. Audio is fuzzy. Is it fuzzy for you guys? Let's see here. Power cord, zip ties, like I said, ZN stop, and the T-brackets. You guys like my cat wallpapers? I know you like my cat wallpapers. Hex wrenches, snips, and I see an acupuncture needle that is pushed through the foam, so be careful. It's literally stuck through. And then we've got a couple wrenches and a screwdriver. And there's more. There's a scraper, which I have a million of these. And then we have our black USB cable. So, alright, switch back to our main view here. Alright. So, we have no instructions here. There's no materials in here. I really don't want to put this in my SD card, to be completely honest, and I don't have, or into my computer. Yeah, I'm going to assume that the directions are on here, and we have Yinrong 8 gig SD card. I'm going to put this in my laptop. I'm going to say, hey, can you grab my, whoa, shoot. Hang on one second, guys. I'm going to grab my laptop. Because I don't have screen sharing set up anyways on my desktop. Rami was heading out. He only came in for a little bit. Who is the slave worker soldering? That's Alan. Come on, come on, Tor, you should know that. You should know this, man. He's literally on our site. He's in our group chat for TH3D. Alright. Okay, rest in peace, my laptop. Chinese drive is in here. I'm going to scan it right now, though. Let's scan the SD card here. Let's see, it's scanning. What's up, Mac? Yeah, so we're closed today. I was planning on taking the day to get caught up on things, and this is one of the things I need to get caught up on. So, man, there's thousands of files on this SD card. It's actually scanning it right now. She's a Windows Defender ever since there, so you guys can see. We're just scanning this here. I have autofocus turned off, so that's why. But yeah, it's got a couple gigs worth of stuff on it. There is a manual here, and a lot of G code. Hasn't found anything. All right, let me see. I'm gonna be brave and see. So we got a folder in Chinese and a folder in English. Okay, U20 instruction manual in Word. It's a 17 meg document. I'm just gonna flip through. So yeah, it's on the SD card. So we basically got halfway decent guide. Yeah, standard fare in terms of assembly instructions. So if you ever assemble a CR10, it's gonna be pretty similar. So I think we can go it alone without the guide. We're not doing anything on Black Friday. I will be running sales next week, and the reason for that is I have not had time to sit down and figure out what we have a ton of stock in and what we want to clear out. I just have too much other stuff going on. The SD came back clean. There's no threats detected on here, so that's good. So we still check the cards, because here's the thing: we've been seeing a recent spat of Creality cards shipping with like a random. It's basically it wants to execute a payload. And I haven't had time to fully dig into it, but I sent it to another guy too, and he actually does malware analysis, and he said that basically the exe file and the SD card that a couple of people that bought Creality machines in the last few months have reported, it basically, when you run it, it loads a payload that's on the SD card and then calls home to the server in China. So not good at all. Personally, don't put the SD cards in your computer. I only did it just to see what was on here. Don't do it. So I'm just gonna set my Ultrabook over here, and we're gonna get to doing the build. Let's see. Honestly, the stock SD cards, like the ones that come with any of these printers, it doesn't matter. Yeah, if it's from Tiny Machines, you're fine. They're gonna check all that. But any other company is gonna be sketch. Alright, so I'm going to put together the little stand here. I've built this before, so basically you put this into here, and then there's 2 bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, just so we have it done. At least they give you a spool holder. That's more than TiVo does. I don't understand why TiVo still doesn't give you a spool holder with their frickin' printers. Like, come on, guys. Like, are you really that cheap you can't throw in a spool holder? Like, I had to print a spool holder for my TiVo Flash that they sent me. Like, come on. Yeah, this looks to be the same spool holder that ships with the capsule, which is a machine I kind of had on the channel a little bit. It was a good printer, to be honest. It just wasn't anything spectacular for the price. It was very solid in terms of build quality, and no one's going to pay $430 for a small printer, because especially for a printer, especially for a Chinese printer, like no one's going to pay that much for a build volume that's like stupid tiny. It's smaller than the Ender 2, But in terms of build quality, it's good. In terms of value, They just struck out because it was so damn expensive for how small. You cannot get artillery for Christmas. We have too much other stuff going on. We're still testing. I had to do some more tuning to ours, because due to the trinamic drivers and the way they work, they were losing steps. We are going to be going with drivers from Watercott instead of Chinese ones, so we're going to be using genuine Watercott drivers on those instead of the cheap ones, which is what I have on there now, and they work, but they're just not as good of quality, and it's only a couple bucks more for the Watercott ones. So you know, I'm going to go with the best stuff because I don't want to deal with any issues down the road with quality. So, thank you, David. I'm hoping the thing should pop up. That's weird. I don't know. Oh, there it goes. It popped up. It tipped. Tipped through Super Chat. There we go. I think I need to change the delays on that. That's hilarious. Thank you, sir. Alright, so... Alright, we got our spool holder. Let me get rid of all these baggies. I'm going to move this acupuncture needle before I hurt myself. Because this is like sticking out. So we're going to go ahead and just put that back in there. And I was going to buy a better camera that does 1080-60, but then my hard drives in my server that we use for all our backups, they started crashing. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I just updated my desktop, just bought all this hardware, and then, yeah, so that ate up my electronics budget for the next few months. Jesus, guys, you don't have to. You know what I think I'm going to do? All the tips we get, I'm going to give to our guys here. I'll give it to them through like a gift card or something. How's that? So, because you know we're fine in terms of you know, our finances, and we like giving our guys perks. And Alan's not here, so I'm just gonna take that money and we'll get him some gift cards for like Amazon or something. So I'd send some to Tor, but that would require him to actually, you know, be on tickets. Mac would be eligible. All right. So let me just put our wrenches and stuff aside. So it's basically gonna assemble like, you know, any of these CR10 type machines. They actually tapped the threads for these plates instead of using hammerhead nuts, because I'm assuming it's cheaper to do that. I don't know. I don't think I have really an opinion on doing that either way. Okay, in terms of features on the upper portion here, let me get this bolted on, and then we will take a closer look with the close-up camera. So it's easier to mess around with this when it's one piece instead of two. Sure you were, Tor. Sure you were. I can check that, you know. My system can tell me if you were on or not. Let's see here. Cyprus is one of the places that we have restrictions on, apparently. Basically, it's too close. I think it was too close to Syria. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. But basically, if there's any sort of restrictions on shipping stuff, like the government's really weird about 3D printer parts because, you know, they're electronics and you can use 3D printers to do pretty much anything. So we have to be very careful where we ship to, and if we ship to somewhere our bank doesn't like, then we get our account shut down, and then we can't do business. Chase Bank actually blacklisted us because during the approval process, they had asked us to bring, you know, a list of countries we ship to. And basically, before we were aware of any of this, we basically shipped to anywhere the post office would send to. And because we had sent one package with an Easy Mat to Russia, then they won't open an account for our business at all. They basically have our entire LLC name blacklisted. They won't do anything for us. So we pulled our 4 accounts out, closed all our credit cards with them, and you know, you got to be careful. And the thing is, I can't, you know, as much as I personally would have no problem shipping there, we can't ship to places that the bank will shut our account down for, because then we can't do business at all. So, and the thing is, too, if we detect, let's say we detect that, you know, a package is going to a mail forwarder, and we check that mail forwarder ships to, you know, places like Iraq that are restricted, obviously. Then if we willfully ship there knowing that it's going to then get forwarded and we can't ship there normally, we can actually face legal issues. So if we're just packing it and we don't catch it, you know, which sometimes we don't, sometimes we do, and we ship there and we knew it, then we can get in a lot of trouble, to be completely honest. So, yeah, this is the fun stuff no one tells you about owning a business. There's so much stuff. I really should just do a video talking about, you know, like starting your own business, because I've had a lot of people ask us about starting their own businesses, which is flattering, but, you know, I'm not an expert. We're literally just kind of figuring this out as we go. But yeah, I am terrible with geography, so I believe, isn't Cyprus near Syria, which is where all the conflict and stuff is happening? Because we can't ship to Syria. Nor would I honestly want to, for risk of the packages going missing. Yeah, well, unfortunately, we can't. We can't ship there. So, what's a black magic card? I'm not sure what that is. I feel like I've heard about that. Aren't they like? Don't they make cinema stuff? I've been looking into all the video stuff. Well, once we get through the move, which will be happening next month, so if you guys are in or near Hobart, Indiana, we're going to need help. I need to find out how many people would actually be willing to help us, and then that would determine how much we could actually pay you guys. But if anybody's in the area, we're going to need help. I have no idea what we can afford in terms of pay. But we're going to need help building out the shop and getting all the printers set up and the shelves and power run and network run. I mean, if we have to hire some contractors, then we can. But it's gonna be crazy, and the fact that it's happening all during the holidays means I'm probably not gonna actually have a Christmas. It's probably gonna be me working just like all the time. But this should be the last like big push, you know, in terms of me working a ton, because once we get in there, everything should run smoothly, or smoother than it is now. Capture and playback card. I don't really have anything that, yeah, that's what I thought. So they're Lebanon and Syria and Turkey, yeah. It's a sketchy area for us to ship to, and I can't risk having us shut down. So it's nothing personal. It's erring on the side of caution when we, you know, check all the restrictions. So I can't remember the exact term for it, but the U.S. maintains a database of sanctions. I think that's the word. And basically we have to check if there's sanctions on certain countries before we can ship to them. So basically we set a baseline of countries that we know are okay to ship to. You know, like, you know, obviously the U.S., Canada, and the U.K. and stuff like that, and then we go from there. And basically, when a customer, you know, or a potential customer, I should say, asks us if, you know, if we can ship there, we have to go check the sanctions list. And if it's on the sanctions list, we don't even bother going forward with checking with the bank or anything, because if it's on the sanctions list, shipping there is a bad idea. And it could just be a pain. So, let's see here. Yeah, Mac, we might actually... I'll have to see, because here's the thing. The plan is for the move, just so everybody knows, is I'm going to basically be heading up the shop move, and while I'm building out the shop with whoever I can get to help us build out the shop, while we're doing that, we're going to have Alan and Rami and Samantha here making sure orders are still getting out and product is still being built. So they'll be operating out of here because we're not selling a condo just yet. So basically we're going to have two properties for a little while, which is going to suck money-wise. But we're going to run the business out of here while we're building out the new shop. And then once the shop's ready, we'll move the business over to the new one. Banga let me down with shipping. A TiVo Flash, Hawk3D says. Oh yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed to Hawk3D, you should subscribe to his channel. He's doing a lot of cool stuff, and he just built out himself a new shop in his garage, which is awesome. So they let him down with shipping a TiVo flash. They took forever, so I'm still looking for another machine. I honestly don't know all the machines you have. The G-Tech ones are pretty nice. The A10M, I've been seeing hit and miss stuff on it. I have the A20M and the A20 sitting in my living room, and the A10M. So I have 4 printers that are queued up in the review queue. This is one of them, which we're doing now. And then I have the A10M, the A20, and the A20M. They're all sitting in my living room right now. So while we've been chatting here, I basically put 4 bolts in. There's 2 on each side going through the base into this tower. And then you've got 4 bolts on the side for these brackets. So I'm going to move these tools so I don't lose them. And then we're going to do what's called checking the eccentric nuts. So remember I showed you guys the eccentric nuts on the bed. So this bed is very wobbly, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do is go on the side with the eccentric nuts, and we're going to adjust them so that they all move smoothly when we move the bed. Let me set this up here. So on this machine, your eccentrics are on these wheels. So this is the left side of the printer this way. So basically right now I can move these wheels just by putting my finger on them. So this one actually has tension. This one does not. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your wrench and put it on here and just turn it a little bit, and you're going to see the tension. So basically if I turn the wheel and the bed doesn't move, then it needs more tension. So there we go. I'm just turning these here just a little bit, and that's good. This one's loose. This one is kind of loose. This one's loose. Now you can't adjust these. Now theoretically, the one across from it should be good, but it's kind of wonky. So what I'll usually do is I'll adjust all the eccentrics, and then make sure that they're all still touching after I adjust them. Because you'll adjust one, and like, see, this one's loose now, and this one's not, and this one's not, but this one's loose. So this one needs to come in a little more. And I put that one in a little too much, because then it loosened up the other one. So it's a game of adjusting your eccentrics so that they're all touching the same, and then these will usually start touching. So this one is touching, this one's not. But we're not getting a shifting. So I'm going to see about adjusting this a little tighter. Maybe not. So now in a situation like this where, you know, this has got some tension, but I can still easily break it loose. This one's nice and tight. And you don't want it overly tight, because then you overload the bearings. So this wheel is clearly farther in a little bit. Now, if I really wanted to, I could get my wrench back here and loosen this up, and this will make it push this way in the hole where the bolt is. But I'm not going to do that. It's not wobbling, so for right now, it's fine. So to go over what stuff we have on here. So we've got an all-metal extruder, which is good. I'll give them props for this. We got a nice little compact filament sensor that's just plugged up in here. Now, I don't know if this is a optical sensor or if this is a mechanical. We'll find out when we put the filament in. We've got, you know, your standard barrel plug that everybody's doing now. And then same thing for the bed. And then we've got our X motor, our E motor, and then our X end stop is over here. And we've got our hot end, which is an interesting setup. So on our hot end here, we've got a 30mm fan and then a 40mm fan. And what looks to be a CR10 style hot end, just a different color. So we'll go and take this apart as always. But first, I'm going to hook everything up and see if it works. And then see if we can get a print out of it with the included code on the included SD card. Let's put our tiny cam over here. And we're going to use the included filament they provide. and their weird little spool holder. Which, it'll work. Better than nothing. Did I see Martine? Or a different guy? Trying to keep up on chat here. Oh yeah, Nadav, send me an email, tim@th3dstudio.com. And I don't ask for stuff for free unless it's a Chinese printer company. But yeah, if that's a card I can use, I'd be more than willing to take it off your hands. I'll look into it and see what they're worth. And if that's something we can use and I got in the budget next month, I'll let you know. Alright, let's get the control box connected. Pretty standard fare if you ever hooked up a CR10. I'm going to rotate this. Yes, the bed has springs, and they're clamped all the way down here. Alright. Now, I'm hoping that, okay. Anycubic on the Chiron. I don't have an opinion on the Anycubic Chiron because I do not own one. I have not had them reach out to me, and I have not reached out to them. So I do not own an Anycubic Chiron. But yeah, in terms of the Easy ABL, man, I wish we could ship it to that area. China doesn't care; they'll ship wherever. They don't have as many restrictions as we do. But we do have a donate link, or you can donate through the stream here, and you can also donate to Scott at Marlin if you want to keep doing it. But yeah, if you bought from a guy in the UK, then that's better. I hope you got it from him instead of Creality, because Creality can do something that's not PG rated in terms of that. I really don't care about them, to be honest. I don't even know why I said that. Because they're stopping selling their kits. They're not even on their main website anymore because they've been having so many issues. So basically what people see with the Creality kits is old stock that they're just clearing out because they're not even selling them anymore through their site directly. If that tells you anything. And they've actually pulled down all the tweets that they made telling people that they're aware of issues with their ABL kit that they knocked off of us and that they're trying to fix it. But that tweet disappeared. And I do have a screenshot on my computer. I would just have to find it. I took one on my phone when I saw it because I thought it was hilarious. Alright, so cables that we just hooked up, we got our filament sensor, which is a 2-pin, our E motor, our X end stop, our X motor. They're all labeled. Y motor and end stop. And then our Z motor and end stop. Now, I don't like that the Z and Y are one cable. I mean, it works, but it's just kind of awkward. I'm just going to put the cables underneath the frame a little bit to keep them out of the way. And hopefully this power cable will reach over to my rack here. Yes, it does. Just barely. Just barely. All right. All right, so it powered up. Where is my... I'm going to put the SD card in here. I forgot to check the voltage. Okay, it's actually set to 115, so that's good. Alright, so it's got a touchscreen. It literally just has 4 buttons up right now. Movement, folder, leveling, extrude. I'm going to home X and Y. Moves a lot like Marlin. I hope I'm not unboxing a GPL violation here without knowing it. I'm homing Z. It homes just like Marlin. which is concerning for me. I'll have to open this up and see what board's in here. Because this LCD and those touchscreen could just be sending G-code to a Marlin board. And here's the thing. I've been seeing firmware and there have been bin files that the LCD, you put in the LCD and then it updates the board. Unless they've just been sending people out updated LCD firmware, which is possible. They've got Baymax.G-code, DNA, Groot. Oh, they put a Groot print on here. You gotta be kidding me. They got one that's labeled bullet, so I'll do that. So I'm gonna heat this up. Let me see if I'm gonna set our bed. And I'm assuming as soon as I touch this, it's gonna start heating. This is rough here. It looks like it's heating. Yeah, it is. Okay, so as soon as you start putting the temp up on the LCD, it starts heating. Did I ever get... Not on the MKS, and honestly, I haven't had much time to mess with it. So, it is still... I have the MKS. I've got a couple of touch screens in here. So I've got the MKS, which is what you find on like the CR10s with the touch screen, and the JGRY A5, and the Anycubic i3 Mega. And then I also have the touch screen for the Wanhao i3 Plus in here, and the ADV++ project. They're making a lot of progress, and this is a mechanical mechanical switch for the filament sensor. Now, here's something I noticed. Even though this is a standard extruder, they actually have a little guide here to help you feed the filament in, so that's a nice touch. It's a printed guide, which is fine. But it's nice that they thought to include that. So let me see if I can actually feed stuff out of the nozzle. I feel like I'm digging my nozzle into the bed here. Yeah, just a little bit. All right. So I'm gonna extrude here. Okay, it's working, but it's slow. All right. I'm gonna purge the nozzle out a little bit. The bed is heating up about the same speed as the CR10. So not fast, not slow. Sorry, I got a customer that wants to grab some stuff. So he said he'll be here in about 10 minutes. So I will, when he gets here, I'll have to jump off. And Samantha already got his order together. Yeah, okay. Alright, so I guess what we're going to do is we're going to level the bed. So it does have a leveling menu. So what I'm going to do is I just purge the nozzle so it is feeding and melting plastic. So I'm going to home everything here. And it's not responding now. Oh, you know why? I think it's because it's still... Yeah, it's still purging out the nozzle. I may have hit that one too many times. Yes, its build quality seems actually decent, to be completely honest. I'm going to restart this just because I don't want to wait for this thing to complete that move. So it shows Alfawise. Alright, so let me home these. And it does have a thing. It's just like a leveling assistant, where it just moves it to the corners for you. What's the box over this box right here? Is that what you're asking about, Hawk? That's the CRX. Alright, so got a piece of construction paper here. Alright, let's go to the other one. So it's going to move up. So it's just got your standard leveling integrated. Like I said, we're going to tear this up, and I'm curious to see what board it is, because I swear to God, if this has a Marlin board in it and they're not sharing source, I'm going to lose my shit. Because I've never actually seen a picture of the board in here. Alright, we're just doing a quick, No, Corelli's not getting a free unbox. They will get a Ender 3 or Ender 5 unbox because they gave me a slight discount on it. Nothing crazy good, but they did give us a discount on it, so I got that on the way. But yeah, I paid $800 for that machine. I'm not giving them a free review. Okay, so this is really weird. It homes the Z every time it goes to the corner. And there are eccentrics on either side, and those are actually tight out of the box, so that's good. Alright, so other corner here. Yeah, the TiVo Flash printed out of the box. I just haven't had much time to play with it. But build quality is great on it. Alright. So, our bed is leveled now. I'm going to go ahead and print the bullet.g code. Are you sure you want to print this file? Yeah, so it's a very simple screen. I'll show you guys here, which is why I got the small cam. Very simple screen here. Let me adjust the focus here. So give me a second. I got to pull up this particular camera's control panel here. And then I can adjust the focus here. So there we go. So you got your standard fare here. You know, I wonder what the adjust does here. Okay, so you can adjust your bed temp, your A temp, your fan speed, your print speed. So, standard stuff. So, while we're waiting for this to heat up, what do you guys want to chat about? It's heating the nozzle now. Smells like that typical brand new printer smell. If you guys know what I'm talking about, like I'm sure when you watch someone unbox a printer, you can almost smell what it smells like. You know, it's just that new printer smell. Yeah, we'll crack it open. I can't really see much inside here. I do see printed parts inside this control box because there's like a duct here directing the PSU out, which is interesting. I mean, Prusa still prints their parts. Why can't these guys? No, it's not the PLA smell. PLA is that sweet smell, which is what it smells like 90% of the time in here. The easy ABLs are still on back order. Actually, I'm gonna check that while I'm chatting with you guys on stream. I got the tracking number from them a couple days ago. But basically, we had a higher than normal amount of orders for the kits, and as I saw stock plummeting, and our guys are like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we don't have that many sensors left." I was like, "Well, that'd been great to know like a week ago." Hey, it's actually level. Oh, it's printing a raft. Well, that's just cheating. Okay, well that's good. I will have sensors on Friday, so which means we're gonna start shipping out. Hopefully. Okay, so I'm going off of UPS's delivery times. Okay, so they could be absolutely just stupid and screw that up. But I'm looking at the tracking for our shipment of sensors that are coming in, and it's saying it'll be here Friday. So. I found a bin. Woo! Hope I didn't break that. I did find we had a bin of like 30 sensors, that we forgot about. They were from when we brought them in. They got put into another bin after we tested them, and we found some of those, so we were able to fill some of the back orders this week. But we'll be back to normal come midweek next week. So, it's printing. Noise level is about the same as CR10. The fans are loud. Yeah, in general, things are going well here. It's not like we're Like I think we have a slot. So here's the problem: is we're on back order right now. And people are still buying them, which is great. And if you want an easy ABL kit and you specifically want our kit, you should back order it because we're just going to ship it out in the order. You're not going to get it faster by waiting for it to become in stock, which some people for some reason think that's the case. It seems to go through spurts, and I don't know why because I haven't actually posted about the kits that recently in any of the groups or anything. We haven't done that much marketing, to be completely honest. So I'm not sure where it came from. It's printing nice. Let me get in here with the small camera here. So you guys can see it's printing pretty good. Let me see if I can adjust the focus here. I gotta go all the way over to my... I hate these fan shrouds that you can't really see under. But you can see, it's printing pretty good. I don't know what it's printing, it just said bullet.g code. But it's definitely printing it on a raft. Are you going to do Easy Flex for the S4? Eventually. I don't have an ETA, but I do have those size sheets coming in our next shipment of the smaller ones, so I can test them. I didn't want to just order them because it's a slightly different spring steel. It's thicker than the normal stuff, so I want to make sure it works still. And I have not the S4, but the U10, which is a 400 by 400, so I'm going to use it on there. And I have a friend locally that's got an S5, so I'm going to give him the other one. But yes, and we will have PEI sheets in that size too. Oh, sorry. I got like no sleep last night. And then I spent like almost 2 hours screwing with getting this new OBS set up, which is why the stream was delayed. It's printing pretty good. It like does these weird pauses. I wonder if they used like S3D with that retraction bug. I could actually open up the G code and see. But I mean, it's printing okay. I'm assuming it's just going to literally be a bullet. Oh dear God. Okay, so the layer fan just kicked on, and this sucker is loud. Really loud. But it's printing. Am I blocked, Tim? I'm not sure what you mean. Well, I mean, it's printing. It's actually printing really damn good. So, let's talk about the drawbacks of a machine like this, okay? So, this is a printer that is reasonably priced. I'm trying to get this not blocking my face. Okay. Well, this is what we're going to have to do, so I'm just going to go back here. So, let me see what they're going for. I think it was like 300 something when I pulled the link for this. Oh, God. Something just happened here. I hit some sort of key combination. I did a view that I didn't even know existed. Yeah, Ender 3 or the A10 is good. CR10 is always solid. I'm just looking up the going rate for the U20 right now. So, okay, they're $279. Okay, so $279. That's for the build volume. That's actually a pretty good price. Build quality, I give it like an A-. We'd have to see how it comes out, but we've got eccentrics where there should be eccentrics. I didn't even check the hot end. It has one on the hot end. Okay, so we got eccentric where eccentric should be. We've got good quality belts, no plastic ones or your standard rubber belts. You've got your glass sheet with a mat on top of it. An all-metal extruder with a filament sensor. I believe it has power loss recovery as well. If you guys wait, Tiny Machines is doing a sale on CR10s. Let's see. So they advertise a 200-watt heated bed. Let's see what other features they have here. Power outage and filling. Okay, so it says it's got power outage recovery. Let's test it right now, okay? Oh no, our power went out. Let's leave it off for a second. I didn't see your thing. Matt, what did you want? Alright, we're powering it back up. Okay, so when I start the LCD here, it says power cut recovery. So it's aware that a failure happened. This says power cut recovery, so I'm going to hit this. Are you sure you want to recovery printing? Oh, the English. Yes. So I'm assuming it's going to heat up again, and then we're going to do printing. It should home X, Y, and then we'll go back to printing. That's probably my customer, so give me a second here. Yeah, that was my customer, so give me a second. This is heating back up, so I'll be right back, guys. Alright. Hopefully you guys can hear me, but we're back. Alright, so, well, it looks like it resumed. I'd say it works. Oh, you guys got a blip on this end? Oh, when it's gonna be back in stock, let me check my shipping on that. Because I just got that from my supplier last night, actually. Okay, well, it recovered fine, so that works. We'll test the filament out in a second here. Let me check my tracking here on my flex plates. Looks like those are coming via FedEx. So, and we'll get into talking about what are the drawbacks to a printer like this versus something like a CR10. Because it's something I feel like needs to be communicated so people know what they're getting into. Okay, flex plates. We will have more flex plates on the 27th, so Tuesday. Tuesday we will have our flex plates, is what it's saying here. Wow, this is hundreds of pounds. They're I guess I mean they're steel sheets, so it says we'll have them on Tuesday. That's providing UPS or FedEx doesn't screw up the delivery. Okay. I accidentally hit the test button. My bad, guys. Oops. Alright, so let's talk about this. So I'm going to assume that what I've been reading and seeing is true, that this is a machine that has a closed source board. And I'm going to pass through GearBest because they've been releasing firmware updates for it, which is good, instead of just being like, okay, here's the printer, no updates for you. Yeah, it has them on the left and right, but only single, so it doesn't have dual. So, like, to give you guys an idea, our machine has eccentrics not only here, but also on the other side of the wheel with the back plate, so you can fully move the wheel in and out, whereas over here, and this is on the Creality machines too, there's one, so essentially you're slightly bending the bolt a little, whereas the design we're going with for our machine, you have two, so you can actually move it like this instead of bending it. Now, this is better than nothing, though, so I will say that. Did you take, Dubbed Out, did you take the film off the top of the PEI? Because there is a film sheet. Nothing's going to stick to it if the film is still on the sheet. Yeah, this one has dual. Yep. Yeah, let me see if I can set up, since we're waiting here, let me add another scene here. So let me call this, I usually share my right monitor. So let me add this here. You guys should be able to hear me. Let me, I'm basically setting up my sources here, so hang on here. Why did that copy? That's weird. I was trying to copy this stuff here, but I copied like one of the text IDs from this. Alright, let me try this. Copy. Paste. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let me add my monitor here. Does this not have... Oh, I wonder if this doesn't... This version... Window capture, maybe? Let me see. I'm using Streamlabs OBS instead of regular OBS. No, this... I don't have... I guess I don't have a way to add... There's no monitor capture. Are you kidding me? There's window capture. Oh, display capture. There we go. Okay, I was like, it's got to have display capture. Alright. That's... hang on. I don't know which monitor is which, and I had stuff open on my other one. That was the one. Alright. So, yes, I have a cat wallpaper. Just letting you guys know. Let me just get this. So this is the drawbacks of moving to a new streaming platform, is resetting up all your scenes and stuff, which is what I'm doing right now. Which is just so much fun. And resetting up everything. Alright, here we go. Okay. Yes, this is my actual wallpaper right now. Alright, so let's see here. Why was I showing you guys my screen? I was showing you guys my screen for something, and now I can't remember why. Do you guys happen to recall why I was sharing my screen with you? I guess the lack of sleep is catching up with me. Anybody wanna help me out while I was sharing the screen? Let me go back through chat. Got a blip on this end. I missed the unboxing and building. Oh, I was going to show you the PEI. Okay, so here. Let me show you guys what I was talking about. So the PEI, Dubbed Out was saying that he couldn't get anything to stick. Now, you have to... Alright. So, basically, and this is why I have pictures of it, with the PEI, there's a film over it. And if you don't peel this film off right here, then nothing is going to stick to it. So that's what I was saying. So there's a film, a protective film over the PEI sheet. You have to peel this all the way off. So stick it down, then peel this off. I have not had time to do an installation video of it yet, but that's why I have this. Dubbed Out in the chat was saying he couldn't get anything to stick to it. That's probably why. I'm willing to bet that this wasn't peeled off here. It should be a nice matte surface when you're done with it. So, but the PEI sheets are in stock. Someone said that Stream Deck. I love the Stream Deck. Can you post a picture of the right motor side nut so I can make sure? Yeah, here, I'll just grab my tiny cam here and show you. So here's my right side here. And you can see it's got an eccentric on it. There's no eccentric on the outers, which is fine. But there is an eccentric on the inside, and there's one over here. This is your optimal setup. So, and then you've got your eccentrics on the left, and your non-eccentrics on the right. And this is printing pretty well. It's printing bullet.g code, so whatever model that is, it's probably something they got off Thingiverse. But oh, it's definitely printing at a 0.1 layer height. Why do these Chinese companies always print stuff at 0.1? It's like they want to show absolutely how great it can print instead of printing at 0.2 like all of us normally do. Just for time's sake, I'm going to increase the speed here. To 150%. It should be able to handle it at 0.1. There's no Z wobble, so it's printing decent. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So yeah, you got to take that film off. We're printing on the PEI on our machine Sandy right now. Printing our ABL cases on there. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 9 machines running right now. 10 if you include this one. And it's getting a little warm here, to be honest, with 9 machines running. Oh, it's 81 degrees in here. That's why. Oh, and for people people always like to say that humidity and temperature affects the type of sensors we use on our machines. This logs the last 24 hours, and we started prints all over the place. I did not have to baby step any of them. So you can see in the last 24 hours, we've gone from 29% humidity to 44%, and then from 73 to 81 Fahrenheit. So really poor temperature regulation. I don't have issues with our stuff. So just figured I'd want to say that. I just looked up and thought that Magic Smoke was released. No. I mean, I'm probably not going to let this print finish. I'll let it go a little bit longer and see. I really want to see what's inside here electronics-wise. Alan is always wearing sweatpants. They're giving you shit for your sweatpants. They're giving you shit for your sweatpants because it's 80 degrees in here. Yeah, right here, 81. He's trying to sweat all the weight off, you know. You need an enclosure to print ABS, so you're not gonna be able to print ABS on stock Ender 3. Also, once you get close to 240C, you're gonna start cooking the PTFE that comes with it. Okay, they have 4 outer shells on this and like no infill. That's a little excessive. Alright, just for funsies, since I don't care about this print, I'm gonna crank the speed up to 200. So now, since this is definitely at, I want to say it's at a 0.1 layer height. Does it have a Z height? Yeah, it's a 0.1 layer height for sure. So, should be able to crank the speed up quite a bit, honestly, on a 0.1 because it's not pushing that much plastic per layer. So we're at 300% now. Yeah, just seeing how this is moving, they definitely slice this with Cura. Alright, so let's kill the print here. Or you want to end printing, yes. I'll let it home. Alright. Alright, so that came off fairly easy. It is definitely stuck to the raft, though. Yep. Well, so it's split in half. The print split in half, basically, because this is where the print resume happened. But this is, like, stuck to the raft with their stock G-code. Which is why I don't like using rafts. I don't know why people still use rafts. But that's stuck to the raft. That's not coming out. Now, in terms of, I wish I had like a button or a key combination to change the focus on this thing. Oh, Seinfeld's on. Yeah, yeah, it is now. They had Fresh Prince on earlier. Let me see here. Camera control. Here we go. Focus. So let's see here. So layer lines look good. Like I said, it broke off here because that's where the resume happened. Which is one of the reasons I don't really like print resume. It doesn't always work correctly. But print quality is good. There's no Z banding. So, decently strong. Alright, so she pushes plastic and melts it, which is good. That's our basic functions we want out of a 3D printer. But now for the fun time. Now Tim's gonna get in here and see what we got electronics wise. Tell you right now, it's definitely gonna have a cheap power supply in it. I can see it just from the side here. It looks like your standard Chinese Meanwell knockoff. As far as I know, we haven't dropped out. I've got everything is perfect here on my end here. Unless YouTube's been having a lot of issues. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. YouTube has been having a lot of problems. I do record these to my hard drive, so yeah, one of those clippings just shot over here, Alan. One of those just shot over here. One of those just shot over here. Yeah, I was like, I just heard like something fly. All right, let's take this over to small cam here. Let me adjust my focus. There we go. All right. Are there more screws? Oh, there's more screws. I jumped the gun a little bit there. All right, there's 4 more screws on the back here. I mean, build quality feels pretty good, to be honest. It really stinks when you got a company that makes good hardware. You know, and we're going to talk about this once I get in here and confirm whether it is a closed source board or not. And I'm going to see if it is running Marlin, because if they just basically, you know, isolated it and reskinned it and it is Marlin and they're not sharing source, then you guys know what's going to happen. So we'll see, because G-Tech released their Smarto, which was built on like an old version of Marlin 2, which sucks. Marlin 2 doesn't suck, but their Smarto is. I'm going to take the SD card out here so I don't break anything. I'm going to assume this just comes out. Yeah, these aviation connectors are loose already. So here's the thing, okay? If we don't have something that we're able to modify, you're pretty much stuck using this machine as you get it. Meaning, repairs and upgrades are going to be a huge pain for you as a consumer. So as you can see here, I thought I saw a printed part. So they have a duct here to duct this out to the outside, which is cool. It's a nice touch. Our stuff's actually grounded. And this is a 24-volt, 15-amp power supply, or 15 Chinese amps, so probably about half that. And this is a board that does not, well, probably doesn't run Marlin. We got a nice big heatsink though, okay, which I'm assuming is for the heated bed, so that's nice. I can't read the markings on here, but it's just definitely an STM ARM chip. Let me see here. It's the STM32F103, which I believe Marlin 2 supports, actually. So, similar to like the Lurch, so we've got our thermistors, our XYE, or XYZ for end stops, and then our E for the filament runout sensor, and then we got a touch LCD. So, oh yeah, longer 3D. I longer that this is open source. And I realized that didn't make any sense. So yeah, this is a closed source. This is a closed source board. So yeah, I mean, design-wise, it actually doesn't look too bad. Everything looks pretty well built, to be completely honest. So this is going to segue us into this here. So we got a machine here that's physically built well. We got a board that appears to be of good quality, and at a reasonable price. The issue is that if you buy this printer, and let's say you want to put a Titan extruder on here, that requires you to reverse your motor direction and change your steps per millimeter. Normally that's done in the firmware. Now you can set steps per millimeter in G-code, but typically your motor, in terms of reversing it, is done in the firmware. Now, you can physically flip your wires and change it that way. But forget about anything like auto bed leveling. You know, that's something we're known for. So unless we get the source code for this machine, or we can get Marlin 2 running on it, which I highly doubt, you're not going to be able to put bed leveling on here unless they release the source code and support it. So that right there disqualifies this as a printer I would personally buy. Now, you could argue that you could just basically use this for its frame and stuff, but there's many of other machines that are basically cheaper that you can use for your frame. Now, if you want to use it in its current state and you don't want to modify it, I could probably recommend it, to be honest. But in terms of someone that likes to tinker stuff, which is like most of the people that are in this space, I don't really like this. So I'm going to reach out to the GearBest people and see if I can get a hold of the firmware for them. Even if I have to sign an NDA saying I won't share the source, but I'll share with them updates. I'd be okay with that. So, why is my mic so hot? You know, I just adjusted the gain on this. Unless it, like, decided to up itself. Yeah, hang on. Here, is this any better? Is this any better, guys? Is it not as hot anymore? You guys said the audio is fine. My levels, I'm not clipping. Yeah, so like what Remote Core said. So if you want to tinker, this isn't the printer for you. If you want something that's just gonna print and you're okay with the stock offerings, then you know I don't have any negatives really. The QC is actually pretty good. I mean, there's nothing in here that's making me go, oh God, this is just typical China. Let me see if they soldered these wires. They did. Well, everybody does that. It's not safe, but every single company does that. And the reason you don't want to solder your wires going into terminals like this is because that, what's the word I'm looking for? Is because it's going to create hot spots in the connector. Those connectors aren't meant for soldering. I would say if you can get this for under, I don't know, it's $280 right now on sale. I know it's kind of hard because there's a lot of printers on the market there. Here, let me see. I just turned off my noise suppression. Is this better or worse in terms of audio? Yeah, there's no dual Z. I would say if this was under $250, it'd be worth picking up just to screw with. But this isn't a printer I would have bought myself because it's because of the closed source of the firmware. No change. Let me hear how it sounds on my end here. I wish you guys would have told me that. Just give me 1 second here. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Hello, hello. Oh yeah, that's not good. Okay, why did no one tell me that my audio was so terrible today? No one fit. You guys make me suffer every time. You guys said it was hot. Hot usually means it's clicking or clipping. Oh, because it's set to 8,000 hertz quality. You guys still hear me? Can you guys hear me right now? Is this better? Hello, hello, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I just recorded a entire stream in potato quality. What happened was Windows set the quality to 8,000 hertz, which is telephone quality, instead of setting it to yeah. Yeah, I apologize, guys. To be fair, in my own defense, this is the first time I set this all up on the new computer. Yeah, so it was clear. It was because my audio. So I'll show you guys here in case you care to see. I'll show you on my cat screen here. So what happened was, let's see here. What happened was, if I go to recording here, so I got my microphone inputs and stuff. So here's my microphone here. If I go to advanced, it was set to one channel, 8,000 hertz. Yeah. Instead of 48,000 hertz, which is why it sounded like I was underwater. So, and actually, I'm gonna check right now and see. Yeah, we'll get it more. You know, this stream is like a wine. You know, the older it gets, the longer it's going. You know, the better it's gonna sound. I mean, like I'm just gonna disable these because I don't even use any else. I don't even know what this audio device is. I gotta see what this USB audio device is. I apparently have a sound card connected. But I need to see if my Yeti. See, my Yeti is defaulted to that. No, it's not my cat. So if you guys ever use Display Fusion, I have it set up so it pulls the best cat pictures every hour. So it should be pulling a new cat picture any second here. There we go. Oh, look at that majestic freaking kitty. That's a nice freaking kitty right there. I'll tell you what. That's a nice kitty right there. Okay. So back to the printer and enough horsing around here because I actually do have some stuff to get done today. Let me see here. So Matt posted a link to Longer 3D. So let's see here. Longer 3D. Okay, so this is a rebranded iFormer 3D printer, Skykit. This is literally, okay, so this is who Alfawise is having make their machine. Let's see, buy it Amazon. Nope, that's definitely not Amazon. That just took me to the same page. Okay. So let's see here. See what we got. Oh, they got one in blue. I think it's just actually Photoshop looking at it now. Yeah, it's definitely Photoshop blue. Oh, I didn't even see Tom Film and Frenzy was in. How did I miss that? I just saw that. Are you still here? Thanks for stopping by. Humanized and easy to operate, clear icon, and easy to understand. Power failure recovery. Filament detector. Automated leveling. It's not auto level. It's assisted. Ugh. Yeah, 300 by 300 by 300. This is incorrect. Is it? Is this AC? Do they have No, this is not AC. There's not AC power going to the board. This is not an AC bed. Okay. They're high. This is not an AC bed. Yeah, you can tell they photoshopped it because even the nozzle's a little blue. Full Metal Bode. Ho ho ho. It's got a Full Metal Bode, guys. The Bode is full metal. Yeah, I'm trying to see if they have, like, their firmware listed on here. It's like the same 5 pictures they reuse over and over. Oh, let's see. Download. Download firmwares. Oh, this is great. Test 1, test 2, test. Someone tells me these aren't actually the firmware. That's definitely just an image. That's another image. That's the same image. All right, here. Let me see here. I'm gonna make sure there's no chats popping up here. So give me a second here. I want to go to the U20 group here. All right. So this was like the official group. You can see here. Oh, that's affiliate link. I think this is the official group, or this is just another one that these guys push affiliate links like crazy. It's ridiculous. Like, nothing here to help you out with your printer. Just buy shit through our affiliate links. Like, I don't like that. Like, have affiliate links, but don't have if this is a help group, don't have like this is all just shilling. Like, come on, guys. Like, have an FAQ on how to use the damn printer. All right, let me see here. Let's search firmware here. Okay, so this is I remember this guy's little icon. So I think this is the official group that someone else created that's not Chinese. So here, 10.8. Fix boot loop issue after update. That's kind of it's kind of important. Let's see here. So we got multiple firmwares. 2.14 is the latest here. Download these. I'm assuming we pop these on the SD card. Let's see. Update instructions. I can't view them. I can't zoom in on them because there we go. Okay. Yeah, so I'm willing to bet this has got some Chinese firmware on here. Because if you guys have ever updated Marley, you'll know. Oh, sorry. You guys will know that this is not how it looks. How you update. Okay. Yeah, so this is the problem. I don't understand why these companies are going through and using third-party boards. So here's the thing. This thing prints. So that's more than most machines do. I just want to see what comments are on here. Yeah, see, here's the issue. Here's a guy that wants to add a BL touch to it. He can't because the firmware's closed. Yeah, you don't need a data sheet for a stepper motor. There are some stupid questions, but so they are saying they have plans to realize support for these. Maybe I can reach out to them. I am friends with him, so I'll shoot him a message and see. Little ice cream emoji Chinese guy. So there. Thank you, advice. We embrace open source. No, you don't. That's bullshit. There are a lot of stuff to handle. So here's what I'm gonna do. Before I totally take a dump over this printer for not being open source, before I take a dump on it for not being open source, let's go over the good. Build quality is awesome. I'll give them that. It's physically built well. So, but as a problem you're saying, I want to add bed leveling. I add bed leveling to every single printer. I cannot use this in our production machine with the stock electronics. Same reason why I didn't do the A30. Now that's open source, but it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible firmware. So the amount of time it would take for me to fix that machine, I might as well have just bought another printer. So there's drawbacks too. If they're open source, that's good, but do you want to spend hours and hours and hours and hours fixing firmware versus using something that can run Marlin or something that can run RepRap firmware like the Duet boards? Is that something you guys want to deal with? Now, here's the thing. If they're willing to provide me with the source code, I can play around with it. And I swear to God, if it is based on Marlin, then I'm going to lose my crap. But right now, so here's my verdict for right now on this machine. The build quality is good. The hardware is good. But the firmware is limited. So if you want to use this printer as it ships, you know, for $279, that's not bad. If you want to upgrade it in terms of changing your hot end, you could change your hot end, but you have to stick with their same thermistors. In terms of changing your extruder, I don't think... I'd be really surprised to see if this actually supports G-code commands to set your steps. So it's a use it as it is type machine. I would recommend a CR10 over this in a heartbeat. I would recommend the A10 over this in a heartbeat. The Ender 3, you know, the CR20, the TiVo Tornado, the CR10 Mini. These are all open source machines, and machines that run open source firmware like Marlin, so you have control over it. This printer, basically, I have a device here that I can't do what I want with. So, would I personally buy this in its current state? I would not. I would not have bought this printer. If it had a Marlin board in it, I would have bought it. So, if this had a Marlin board in it, I would be at $279. I'd be like, guys, this is an amazing deal. Pick it up. There's no dual Z, which it's take it or leave it. I prefer dual Z. But if it's adjusted correctly, it can be solid. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so it prints. That's more than most machines we've done. And it printed well. So the problem is, like we're seeing, they had released fix. You were at the mercy of this longer 3D company to fix any firmware issues. And as you can see, the updates are few and far between. They have been doing some, but I've seen issues where people said S3D doesn't work correctly with it. You got to do some dirty hacks with S3D to get it to work with it. And again, this all stems from their choice of firmware. So here's what we're going to do with this printer. I'm going to give it away, not next week, but the week after. So we're going to give it away because it's essentially useless to me, and I would give it to one of our guys, but I want them to have machines that can run our hardware and our firmware so they can be familiar with our products and our firmware. So this machine essentially is useless to me in its current state. I'm not going to go through the hassle of swapping it out. I'd rather give it to somebody that can use it in its current form. So we will end up doing a giveaway on this machine. Like I said, unless something changes and they somehow have, you know, a Marlin build, and I'll update you guys. I'll post another video. But I'll give it an A- on build quality, because there's not anything horrible that's sticking out. It prints out of the box. But that firmware is... It's such a hard sell when there's so many other options out there. Do you guys know what I mean? You know, if there weren't so many options out there, and let's say the CR10 was the only thing priced at $400 something, and you can get this for $279, it might be easier to argue that, okay, well, yeah, it's got closed source firmware, but you know, you get a lot of a build volume for the price, which you do. But in terms of you know, printers are for makers. You know, printers are for people that want to make stuff. And even if you're someone that just wants to print stuff, this will be good for you until you get to the point where you want to start doing upgrades. You know, so you know what I mean? It's like, Yeah, it'll probably do fine. It'll probably produce some nice prints, and I've been seeing some nice prints. But because they decided to go with this closed source board, and they're holding the code to themselves, and there are bugs in the code, and you can't add features on like auto bed leveling, or let's say you wanted to add on a second extruder. It doesn't have an output for it, but let's just hypothetically say it had it had that on there, but it wasn't enabled in the firmware. You would have to wait for them to enable it for you and hope they have the settings correct. So that's why this is a hard sell for me, even at the price. Now, if this was someone's first printer, this would be a good introduction. They're not going to know what they're missing. But once they start getting in on the groups and stuff, or they venture out of the Alfawise U20 community, they're going to quickly realize that this machine's very locked down. So I will never sell a machine or recommend a machine that's got closed source firmware. I'd be sooner to recommend, in terms of people that want to mod it, I'd be sooner recommend something that's, let's say, violating the GPL, like Tronxy. But let's be honest, their machines aren't good at all, so there's no reason to recommend them. But hypothetically speaking, you have more flexibility with a machine that just, let's say the manufacturer didn't put out the source code for the Marlin firmware, but the community did. You have a lot more flexibility with that machine than this one. And it's a shame, because this is this is a solid printer. Like, this tower, this is solid. And it's, you throw this board in here and, that's it. Yeah, I'm not going to post it back to them because the ship a printer back to China is really, really expensive. So I would rather ship it to someone in the US, because it only cost me 20 or 30 bucks to ship this to someone in the US. So anyways, this has been the stream. My final thoughts are, if you're okay with the limitations that I specify here, so basically you're going to use this machine as it comes, okay? You're going to have to, let's say you want to change the hot end, you're going to have to retain the stock thermistor. You can change the heater cartridge, that doesn't matter. I'll have to play around with it more and see if you can change the steps per millimeter, but you definitely are not going to be able to reverse the direction of your extruder. So if you want to put on something like a Titan or a Tough extruder or a Bondtech, you're not going to be able to do it very easily on this. If you want to put on something like E3D V6 hot end with their cartridge type thermistor, you're not going to be able to put it on this. And that all stems from the software choices they use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it as, these are limitations with the machine. The build quality is good. And I'm going to reach out to this Chinese guy on the forums here and approach him and be like, listen, I saw you guys are, you got a lot on your plate for the firmware. I'm willing to help you guys out. Let's see what we can do. And if we get any traction on there, I'll post an update through all of our social media outlets. But that's about it. It's a real shame. Like I said, this is a very nice piece of hardware. And the board's a nice piece of hardware, to be honest, too. The limiting factor is that they're not sharing the source, and they don't have to. So don't go on a neckbeard rant about how they have to share the source code. If it's their code that they wrote, they do not have to share it. It's their choice not to share it. And I can respect that. Do I agree that it's a good choice? I don't, especially in this space. Tor, take it easy, man. But yeah, so do you guys have any questions for me before we wrap this up? Any questions? Anybody got any cool Thanksgiving plans? I'm gonna move this into the other room. Any other questions before we wrap this up here? Oh, you're heading to DC? That sounds fun. You got family there? Amsterdam and coffee shops? That sounds like a good time. Any GitHub repos with filament definitions for Kira? I don't use Kira, so I couldn't tell you. We will be doing a sale next week, not this week. I got too much other stuff going on right now to orchestrate a sale. I can tell you that I'm gonna put bed mats and PEI on sale. I'm not going to be putting the spring steel sheets on sale once we get them in next week, because they're still too new of a product. And but the sheets that go along with it will be. I'm just trying to think. So I don't have, the problem is, let me switch over to my Yeti here. Get off of the wireless mic. Can you guys hear me okay on here? Let me turn my gain down. Can you guys hear me okay? Well, what? Someone just said, wow. And I don't know why. But yeah, so we'll be running a sale on sheets. Probably the easy outs. I'll put those on sale because we got some wiggle room on those. Oh yeah, this is a Blue Yeti. Actually, the audio quality on the other one is not bad. Let me turn my gain down a little bit. How's that? Is that not blasting your eardrums here? I turned the gain down here. I'm looking at my levels right now, and I have this set to the same level that the wireless mic was at in terms of my peaks. Although I just got this shock mount here, so if I hit my desk or something, it makes it less noisy here, but I just feel like I just have this giant phallic object right in front of my face. So, but it works. So I'm just checking the forums here for this printer. That's hot. That's not my thing. If that's your thing, that's all you, man. I'm just checking their forums. Yeah, so I mean that's the problem. People are asking, multiple people are like, are you like here? Oh, here's a good thing. People are saying, hey, I want to put a BL Touch on here or another sensor. My hot end is limited. So this is what I'm saying. Like, software can kill a machine. If you have bad firmware, software can kill a machine. You know, that's the problem. You know, here, BL Touch device. No. Like, you know, it sucks because they've got a nice piece of hardware here. Yeah. Oh God, this guy. He's such a interesting person. My friend Max knows who I'm talking about. Yeah, so... Oh, this is the U10. This is the U20. Yeah, see, I posted out the U10 firmware. So yeah, that's the reality is it's good hardware with software that's closed. So that's what it is. I personally wouldn't buy it, but I can see people that wouldn't care. So if you're one of those people that doesn't care, it's a lot of machine for the money. But me personally, I would not buy it. So I'm not going to put a link to this on my printer links page because it's not a printer I would recommend. And I only recommend machines that I would use. Like I said, it's a shame. The hardware is really nice. The wiring is actually pretty good aside from those wires that are soldered, but literally every company does that. Doesn't make it right, but I'm just saying I'm not going to take a giant dump on them when they're not the only ones that do that. So I just wanted to mention it. So, yeah. Anybody have any other questions? Because I just realized it's 2 o'clock, my time, almost 3, and I have not eaten anything at all today. I'm starting to get a headache here. Now, what I will want to say, do we want to, what do we want to do in terms of the next printer up? So I've got, I mean, screw it. I'll do this. If you guys want me to unbox the CRX, I know we bought it. I don't really have a problem with Creality, just for the record. I just reserve the right to give them a hard time. So in terms of printers I have sitting in boxes, I've got the CRX, I've got the A10M, I've got the A20 and the A20M, and I do have the Hicktop dual IDEX system, but they're not abiding by the source code, and that was sent to me by a friend, and it's supposedly dead, so that wouldn't be good to to review. All right, Matt. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Go get hammered. Go get drunk off wine. One of the M printers. I think we'll do the A20M, because here's the thing: the A10M was one that was sent to me by Cody of the C3 support groups. So I do not have to do a review on that one. I do have to do a review on the A20 and the A20M. The i3 Mini, those are in my storage unit right now. There we go. I turned off autofocus on this. So I'm thinking A20M. Do you guys want to see the A20M or A20? What do you want to see first? And this is absolutely amazing. This new computer. I'm glad I did this upgrade. It wasn't cheap, but I'm at 8% CPU usage right now, which is insane. It's insane that it's that low, and it's actually yeah. I've got a bunch of other stuff going in the background right now. I've got this thing running at 5 gigahertz on all 8 cores. Yeah, if you guys want to see here, yeah, if you guys want to nerd out a little bit here, there we go. And the temperatures are honestly pretty good, even at 5 gigahertz. So if I go to my dashboard here, there we go. Well, Corsair Commander doesn't scale, but so my intake is 25C, hard drives at 29, RAM's 32, my exhaust is 26, and my cores are all sitting at about 40 to 50 with about half load on them. I got other stuff running in the background right now. So, but I'm pretty happy with this this processor. If you guys got the money or in the market for a computer upgrade, the 9900K, it's not the cheapest processor. But in terms of a good all-around, in terms of great single-threaded performance, which, to give you guys an idea, I can compile Marlin firmware on this system now in about 10 seconds instead of 30 to 40, which is amazing. Because I do that all the time, and that's why I wanted a good single-threaded processor, because Arduino is single-threaded. If I went with something like a Threadripper chip, that single core is slower than my old processor single core. And this is 8 cores. This is 8 cores, 16 threads for the. You can see here, 8 cores. Oh, 8 cores, 16 logical processors. So it's 8 core with hyperthreading. Okay, so we'll do the A20M next. So yeah, that'll be the next machine. You can see all my little minions here, 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 and here. I can never know where to point. Going. Yeah, so, alright. I'm going to wrap this up. If you guys got, I'm going to give you guys another chance to get any other questions in. I really appreciate you guys stopping in. Again, sorry about the delay. I had issues getting this new OBS Streamlabs set up. I will get it, I will get it going. I will get it all tuned in. It's always hard when you're going through and resetting up your computer. You never know, like, oh, which programs do I need and all this other stuff. But eventually you get it all done, and this is my first time using this version of OBS. So, Everybody, anyways, thanks for stopping by. I hope you guys learned something. If you do want to pick up this printer, there is a link down in the description. That's an affiliate link. If you want to pick up some other printers that I recommend, there's a link also. Go to printerlinks.th3dstudio.com. There's links to Printed Solid and Tiny Machines. I don't get a cut of the commission if you buy from Printed Solid or Tiny Machines, but they are friends of mine, and I want to give them business when I can. If you want to purchase it from a Chinese reseller like GearBest, you can go and click the links on that page as well. You can also donate through our shop, our PayPal link, which is on our firmware page, or through here through Super Chats or whatnot. Also support the Marlin Project if you can. There's a link to the Marlin Patreon at the top of this channel, and also a link to Scott's Patreon for Marlin and his PayPal. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. And happy printing, and you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Take it easy now.